Self-improvement is not a luxury. It's not something you do when you have extra time, or when life slows down, or when you feel perfectly ready. It's an investment, and it's one of the most important ones you'll ever make. And just like any investment, the earlier you start, the greater the return. So many people walk around waiting for the right time to work on themselves. They say, "I'll start after this busy season," or "I'll focus on me once things calm down." But life never really slows down, does it? If you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life. The truth is, investing in yourself is how you change your life. It's how you change your relationships, your career, your health, your happiness, everything. You are the common denominator in every area of your life. So if you want any of it to get better, you have to get better first. That's where it all starts. You have to stop seeing personal growth as some kind of optional hobby. You have to treat it like it's oxygen, because it is. Your ability to navigate challenges, to pursue opportunities, to bounce back from failure, all of it depends on how much you've invested in your own growth. Think about it like this. Imagine if you had a bank account that could multiply whatever you put into it. If you deposited $10, it would grow into $100. If you put in $1,000, it would turn into $10,000. You'd be racing to put as much money into that account as possible, right? That's exactly what happens when you invest in yourself. The skills you learn, the resilience you build, the confidence you earn, all of it multiplies your opportunities, your ability to handle setbacks, and your potential for success. Every book you read, every skill you practice, every uncomfortable thing you tackle, it compounds. It pays off in ways you can't even predict yet. The problem is, we don't treat it that way. We treat working on ourselves like it's extra credit, like it's something nice to have, but not necessary. Meanwhile, we obsess over external things, money, cars, titles, vacations, thinking that if we just had enough of those things, we'd finally feel fulfilled, but it never works that way. You can pile up all the external success you want, but if you haven't invested in yourself internally, if you haven't built the discipline, the self-awareness, the emotional intelligence, the skills, you will sabotage it, you'll burn out, you'll crash under pressure, you'll feel like an imposter, because your outer world can only grow as big as your inner world is strong enough to handle. This is why you have to flip the script. Stop thinking of self-improvement as something extra. Start thinking of it as a non-negotiable. Your mindset, your habits, your skill set, these are the foundations you're building your entire life on. And if you're not actively strengthening them, they're weakening. Growth isn't neutral. You're either moving forward or you're slipping backward. There's no standing still. And here's the best part. You don't have to overhaul your whole life overnight. You don't have to spend hours every day locked in a library or sitting in meditation. You just have to be intentional. Spend even 15 minutes a day reading something that stretches your thinking. Listen to podcasts or talks that inspire you to level up. Take one uncomfortable action every day that pushes your limits. It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be consistent. Small investments add up. A little bit of effort compounded over time creates a massive transformation. And when you start treating your personal growth like the serious, urgent investment that it is, everything around you will begin to shift. Your confidence will rise. Your opportunities will multiply. Your relationships will deepen. Your health will improve. Your ability to weather life's inevitable storms will strengthen. Self-improvement isn't selfish. It's the most selfless thing you can do. Because the better you are, the more you have to offer the world. The more grounded, fulfilled, and powerful you are, the more impact you can have on your family, your community, and every person you meet. But it all starts with you deciding today that you are worth investing in, not later, not someday. Right now, the clock is ticking. Your future self is waiting, and it's your responsibility to show up and build the life you're capable of living. Most people think that success is about these huge, massive actions you take once in a while. They think it's about the big, flashy moments. The perfect business launch, the viral post, the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But that's not how real growth happens. The truth is, daily small efforts outweigh occasional big actions every single time. Success is built quietly, in the tiny choices you make every day that no one sees. It's built in the habits you stick to when you don't feel motivated. It's built in the consistent effort that seems almost invisible at first, but over time, it compounds into something powerful. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't skip brushing your teeth for a month and then brush for 10 hours straight to make up for it. You brush every day because you know that small, consistent effort keeps your teeth healthy over time. Personal growth works the same way. You can't skip doing the work for weeks or months and then expect one weekend of grinding to fix everything. You need to show up every single day, even if it's just for a few minutes, because those minutes matter more than you realize. The mistake people make is they underestimate the power of small daily actions. They think, what's the point of reading for just 10 minutes today? What's the point of practicing for 15 minutes? It's not going to change anything, but that thinking is dead wrong because it's not about the 10 minutes. It's about the habit you're reinforcing. Every time you show up for yourself, no matter how small the effort, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. You're saying, I am someone who works on my dreams. I am someone who invests in my future. And over time, those votes add up. They become your identity. They shape your reality. It's the people who commit to small efforts daily who eventually blow past everyone else. It's not the ones who go all in for a week and then burn out. It's not the ones who work like crazy for a month and then disappear for 3. It's the ones who do the boring work, the unsexy work, the nobody's clapping for me work. They build momentum. They build trust with themselves. And that self-trust becomes unstoppable. You see, when you show up every day, you teach yourself that you can be relied on. You stop being someone who talks about change and starts being someone who lives it. And that consistency builds confidence like nothing else. You don't need massive results to feel proud. You just need to know that you're showing up, that you're moving the needle forward, even if it's just a millimeter at a time. The other thing about small daily efforts is that they're sustainable. Anyone can push themselves hard for a few days when they're feeling motivated, but motivation fades. Life gets busy, challenges pop up, and when they do, it's your habits, not your feelings, that carry you through. A small daily habit is manageable. It's realistic. It fits into your life, even on the crazy, stressful, chaotic days. And when you lower the barrier to action, you make it easier to stay consistent. Building anything meaningful is not about intensity. It's about consistency. It's about being willing to be a little bit better today than you were yesterday, and trusting that over time, those small improvements will transform your entire life. It's about shifting your focus from short-term gratification to long-term growth. Because when you zoom out and look at the big picture, you realize that one page read today turns into a book finished next month. One push-up today turns into strength a year from now. 1 minute of mindfulness today turns into emotional resilience down the road. The work you're doing today, even if it feels small, even if it feels invisible, is not wasted. It's laying the bricks for the future you're building, and every brick counts, every action matters. You don't need to do it perfectly, you just need to keep showing up. So stop waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect plan, the perfect moment. Start now, start small, and keep going. Because the people who win are not the ones who make the biggest moves once in a while. They're the ones who make small moves every day, without fail, without excuses, without giving up. The life you want is built one small, ordinary, determined step at a time. And you have everything you need to take that step today. Your future self is not some random version of you that magically shows up one day. Your future self is being built right now, brick by brick, by the choices you're making today. Every decision, every habit, every tiny action you take is a building block. And whether you realize it or not, you're shaping who you're becoming with everything you do or don't do. People love to think about the future, like it's some far-off destination that they'll figure out when they get there. But that's not how it works. You don't suddenly become disciplined, successful, healthy, fulfilled just because time passes. You become those things because you intentionally chose the habits, the mindset, the effort that builds that version of you, starting now. The most powerful thing you can realize is that your habits are votes for the type of person you want to be. If you wake up every day and skip your workout, you're voting for a future where your health declines. If you procrastinate every day, you're voting for a future where your dreams collect dust. If you spend your days distracted, scrolling, complaining, you're voting for a life that feels stuck and unsatisfying. But the opposite is also true. Every time you show up, even in a small way, you're voting for a future where you're strong, confident, capable, and proud. Every day you invest in learning, in pushing yourself, in doing the hard thing. Even when you don't feel like it, you're casting a powerful vote for a life you're excited to wake up to. It's easy to underestimate the power of your daily habits because the results aren't instant. You don't eat one healthy meal and wake up shredded. You don't read one chapter and suddenly become a genius. You don't save $5 and wake up rich. But that doesn't mean your actions don't matter. In fact, they matter more than you can even see right now. Change is happening underneath the surface, long before it's visible. The work you're doing today is compounding quietly, invisibly, like a seed growing roots underground before it breaks through the soil. The danger is, because the consequences of our habits aren't immediate, we trick ourselves into thinking they're no big deal. I'll start tomorrow, we say. It's just one day. It's just one choice. But those one days turn into weeks, then months, then years. And then you look up one day and realize you've built a life you don't even recognize. Not because you made one catastrophic mistake, but because you made 1,000 tiny choices to settle, to delay, to stay comfortable. That's the brutal truth. Your life is a reflection of the habits you nurture or neglect, the standards you raise or lower, the effort you give or withhold, day after day after day. The beautiful part is that you have full control. You are not a victim of your future. You are the architect, you are the builder. You get to decide today what kind of future you're creating. You don't have to change everything overnight. You don't have to be perfect. Most people would rather stay small and safe than risk the vulnerability of growth. But you are not most people. You are someone who knows that the life you want is on the other side of everything you're scared to do. And if you want it badly enough, you will step through the fear anyway. The way you expand your comfort zone is by stepping outside of it on purpose, over and over again. Every time you do something that makes you uncomfortable, every time you have the hard conversation, take the risk, show up when it's scary, you stretch yourself. And eventually, what once terrified you becomes normal. What once seemed impossible becomes easy. That's how you grow. That's how you become the person you're meant to be. It doesn't have to be dramatic. You don't have to jump out of an airplane or quit your job tomorrow. It's about doing small, uncomfortable things consistently. Speak up in a meeting when you normally stay silent. Say yes to an opportunity even if you don't feel ready. Start the project you've been putting off because you're scared you'll fail. Put yourself in situations where you are the beginner, where you don't know everything, where you have to stretch. That's where the magic happens. Most people look at successful people and think they're fearless. They're not. They feel the fear just like you do. They just have a different relationship with it. They understand that fear is part of the deal. They understand that if you're not feeling fear, you're not playing big enough. They don't avoid it. They use it as fuel. You have that same choice. You can keep choosing comfort, and you can keep getting the same results. Or you can choose courage. You can choose to be uncomfortable on purpose, knowing that every moment of discomfort is a down payment on the life you dream about. You can choose to stop letting fear be the loudest voice in the room. Your future self is not looking for you to stay safe. Your future self is looking for you to be brave, to lean into discomfort, to bet on yourself even when it's scary, to step into the unknown with shaking hands but a determined heart. Because that's where your next level is waiting. That's where your power is. That's where the life you are meant for is hiding, just outside your comfort zone. Everybody is out there searching for the magic formula, the quick fix, the shortcut to success. They want the secret that will make it all easier, faster, less painful. But here's the real truth, and it's not flashy, and it's not glamorous. Self-discipline is the shortcut. That's it. It's not about motivation. It's not about feeling inspired every morning. It's about doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Because the people who succeed, the people who break through, the people who live the lives others dream about, they aren't the ones who had it easier. They're the ones who had the discipline to keep showing up day after day, no matter what. Self-discipline is the muscle that separates dreams from reality. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. You can have all the dreams in the world, but without discipline, they stay dreams. You can read all the books, listen to all the podcasts, write out all the perfect plans. But if you don't have the discipline to act on them consistently, nothing changes. Ideas without discipline are just wishes. Goals without discipline are just nice thoughts. Discipline is what turns those dreams and goals into results you can actually see, touch, and live. The beautiful thing about discipline is that it's not something you're born with. It's not some magical trait that only a few lucky people have. Discipline is a skill. It's something you build, like a muscle. And just like building muscle in the gym, it's uncomfortable at first. It's heavy, it's awkward, it feels like work. But the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. The more you push through the urge to quit, the easier it becomes to keep going. And one day you wake up and realize that what used to feel impossible has become your new normal. People think discipline is restrictive. They think it's about saying no to everything fun, living a life of constant sacrifice. But real discipline is actually freedom. Discipline is the thing that gives you control over your life. It's what allows you to create options, to build momentum, to achieve things most people only talk about. Without discipline, you're a slave to your impulses. You're at the mercy of your moods, your distractions, your excuses. But with discipline, you become powerful. You become someone who doesn't wait to feel ready or inspired. You become someone who moves forward no matter what. The reason discipline feels hard is because it requires you to do the opposite of what your emotions are telling you in the moment. Your emotions want comfort. They want easy. They want instant gratification. Discipline is what tells those emotions, I hear you, but we have bigger goals. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you're tired. It's what gets you to the gym when you'd rather stay home. It's what makes you keep writing, keep studying, keep building, even when no one is watching, even when the progress feels slow, even when it feels like it's not working yet. And that's the other piece most people miss. Discipline is most important when you can't see the results yet. Anybody can be disciplined for a week. Anybody can grind for a month. But real discipline is about showing up when there's no evidence yet that it's working. It's about trusting the process. It's about believing that the work you're putting in is building something, even when you can't see it yet. Because it is. Every rep counts. Every page counts. Every uncomfortable moment counts. You are stacking wins, even if those wins are invisible right now. The people who win are the ones who keep going long after the excitement wears off. They know that success isn't one giant leap. It's a million small steps taken consistently, even when it's boring, even when it's hard, even when no one's clapping for them. They know that discipline is what separates the talkers from the doers. It's what separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's what separates the people who look back with pride from the people who look back with regret. So if you're looking for the shortcut, stop looking outside yourself. It's not some hack. It's not some secret. It's discipline. It's the choice you make every single day to act in service of your future self, no matter how you feel. And the best part is, every time you choose discipline, you're not just getting closer to your goals. You're becoming the kind of person who can handle success when it arrives. You're becoming unstoppable. The future you want is waiting. And it's not waiting for you to feel motivated. It's waiting for you to get disciplined. Start today. We live in a world that's designed to steal your focus. Every beep, every notification, every shiny new thing pulling at your attention is costing you your future, and most people don't even realize it's happening. They wake up, check their phone, scroll for an hour, bounce from task to task, distracted, overwhelmed, and at the end of the day, they wonder why they feel stuck. They wonder why their goals seem no closer. They wonder why they're exhausted but have nothing real to show for it. It's not because they aren't capable. It's not because they aren't smart or talented or driven. It's because they've allowed distraction to run their lives. If you want to change your life, you have to start by taking control of your focus. You have to start protecting your attention like it's the most valuable resource you have, because it is. Your focus is your power. Where you put your attention is where you put your energy. Where you put your energy is what grows. And if your attention is scattered, if your energy is drained by 1,000 meaningless distractions every day, how can you expect to build anything meaningful? How can you expect to get better, stronger, smarter, more successful if you're never fully present in the work that matters? The truth is, distraction is easy. It's comfortable, it's safe. It gives you a quick hit of dopamine, a little rush that makes you feel good for a second. But it's a trap. It's stealing the hours, the days, the years that you could be using to build something amazing. Every time you check your phone mindlessly, every time you let yourself get sucked into drama or gossip or the endless scroll, you're giving away your power. And over time, that cost is massive. Over time, those little moments of distraction add up to a life of regret. You have to get ruthless about eliminating distractions. You have to set boundaries like your life depends on it, because it does. You have to be willing to be different. You have to be willing to turn off notifications, to put your phone in another room, to say no to things that don't move you forward. You have to stop giving your time and attention to things that don't deserve it. And yes, it's uncomfortable at first. You're going to feel restless. You're going to feel the urge to check, to scroll, to be available to everyone all the time. That's normal. But just like building any new habit, the more you practice focus, the stronger it gets. Focus is a skill. And just like any skill, it gets better with practice. Start small. Give yourself an hour a day where you are fully locked in. No distractions, no multitasking, no mindless breaks. Watch what happens. Watch how much you can get done. Watch how much deeper your thinking gets, how much stronger your work becomes, how much more connected you feel to the goals you've set. And once you experience that kind of focused energy, you're going to crave it. You're going to realize that what you've been chasing through distraction, that sense of progress, that sense of meaning, that sense of pride, it was never going to come from another scroll or another like or another dopamine hit. It was always going to come from doing the work that matters. The other truth you have to understand is that your environment matters. If you are surrounded by distractions, if you make it easy to get pulled off track, you will get pulled off track. Set up your environment for focus. Clean up your workspace. Plan your day before it starts. Make the hard choice to cut out the noise, even if it means disappointing people, even if it means being less available, even if it means feeling a little out of step with what everyone else is doing. You are not here to live an average life. You are not here to blend in. You are here to build something extraordinary, and that takes focus. Eliminating distractions isn't just about getting more done. It's about becoming the kind of person who honors their potential. It's about building a mind that can go deep, that can stay locked in, that can push through boredom and resistance and fear. It's about living your life on purpose instead of on autopilot. Because every moment you choose focus over distraction, you are taking your power back. You are declaring to yourself and the world that your dreams matter more than your impulses. You are showing up for yourself in a way that very few people ever will. This isn't easy, but it's worth it. The life you want requires a level of focus that most people aren't willing to develop. That's your advantage. Stay focused. Stay fierce. Protect your attention like your future depends on it, because it does. We live in a world that glorifies speed. We celebrate overnight success stories, viral moments, instant transformations. It creates this false belief that if you're not moving fast, if you're not seeing huge results immediately, you're failing. But that's not how real growth works. That's not how lasting change happens. Growth takes time. Transformation takes patience. Becoming the person you are meant to be is a process, and it doesn't happen on your timeline. It happens on the timeline of consistency, resilience, and trust. You have to be patient with yourself while staying fiercely committed to the work. It's so easy to get frustrated when you're doing everything right, but you don't see the results yet. You're showing up, you're putting in the effort, and you start wondering, why isn't it happening faster? But that frustration is a test. It's life asking you, are you serious about this? Do you really want it, or do you just want it to be easy? Anyone can stay excited for a week. Anyone can work hard when the rewards are immediate. But real greatness is built by the people who stay committed long after the excitement fades, long after the progress gets slow, long after it stops being fun and starts feeling like work. You have to understand that small steps matter. Tiny improvements add up. Showing up for yourself day after day, even when you're tired, even when you're doubting yourself, even when it feels like nothing is changing. That is where the real transformation happens. Those little choices you make, those moments when you could give up but you don't, they are stacking up. They are creating a foundation so strong that when the breakthrough finally happens, it will look like it came out of nowhere to everyone else. But you'll know the truth. You'll know it was built brick by brick, moment by moment, choice by choice. Being patient with yourself doesn't mean lowering your standards. It doesn't mean giving yourself permission to slack off. It means understanding that setbacks are part of the journey. It means recognizing that mistakes aren't proof you're failing, they're proof you're trying. Fush. It means giving yourself grace when things don't go perfectly, and then getting right back to work. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. Consistency is where the magic lives. It's not glamorous. It's not exciting. Most days, it's actually really boring. But if you can master the art of showing up consistently, especially on the days when you don't feel like it, you can achieve anything. It turns ordinary people into extraordinary successes. Think about it like planting seeds. You don't plant a seed and expect to see a tree the next day. You water it, you nurture it, you give it sunlight. And for a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to think the work is pointless. But under the surface, roots are growing, strength is building, a foundation is forming. And if you stay patient, if you keep doing the work, one day you'll look up and see something beautiful that you created through your persistence. You are not behind. You are not too slow. You are not failing just because it's taking time. You are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, growing in exactly the ways you need to grow. Trust that. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Don't quit just because you don't see the full picture yet. Keep moving forward. Keep believing in what you're building. Every day you stay committed is a win. Every day you stay patient is a step closer. You might not